Good afternoon. Welcome to week two of. Good morning. Welcome to week two of nutrition. Today we're going to be covering chapter two, using food guides, dietary recommendation, and nutrition labels to food plans. Now the overview we're going to do is we're going to be talking about the MyPlate. The MyPlate is one of the guidelines that we're going to use that we use here in the United States, but in other parts of the world they also have the Mediterranean diet. The Mediterranean diet, where they emphasize on vegetables, fruits, olive oils, and grains and whole grains, and they also, which is very unusual probably to some people, is they also include wine. Wine is also included in their meal, which, it's also to believe that individuals that usually follow the Mediterranean diet tend to have less chronic diseases, such as cardiovascular diseases. So, which is very interesting to know. And also make sure that you understand nutrient density. And nutrient density is the measure of nutrients provided in a food per calorie of that food. And for example, an example that is in the book, it has broccoli is considered to have a high nutrient density because of its high nutrients and low in calories. It is packed of a lot of nutrients in a small amount of calories. Nutrient densities, dense foods and beverages are low in fat and added sugars. So we want to make sure that we do not have foods and drinks that have added sugars. We want to try to stay away from those added sugars and eat more natural foods. And you can see in table 2-1, if you look over that real quick, where it says the needs per day by age, gender, and physical activity levels, where it tells you the estimated calories. Right? So make sure you look over that. And throughout this chapter, we're going to tell you, and we're going to go over of the veg group. We're going to go over fruit group. We're going to go over protein, dairy group, and oils and infant calories. So make sure you read over your book. We're just going to go just a quick overview of it. But vegetable group, really quick, is if you're at a 2,000 calorie a day, you should eat up to 2.5 cups of vegetables daily. All right, and you want to eat dark greeny vegetables, red and orange vegetables, uh, dry beans, starchy vegetables such as potatoes, corn, peas, and lima beans, and also other vegetables such as onions, celery, cucumbers, green peppers, iceberg lettuce, mushrooms, and wax beans. So make sure you go over those and read more into detail and what that covers. Also, you want to eat your fruits. You want to eat at least 2 cups of fruits is what the MyPlate recommends. All right, which is very important. And there are 3 reasons to support the recommendations to eat at least vegetables and fruit. And one of the most important thing it does is it helps with the dietary fiber and gives you vitamin A and vitamin C. There's other reasons, other 2 reasons, so make sure you look over that as well. Then we're going into the grain group, which we're going to talk about refined grains. And refined grains have been milled, and a process that removes the bran and the germ. Right, in a 2,000 calorie, which we all should be doing, you need at least 6 ounce or the equivalent of the grain daily, and at least half of this should be 100% whole grain. And I know a lot of us, and how we're such in we move around a lot, and things are really moving fast in society, that we really don't eat that whole grain. We get something, or we get a real quick snack. We go to the vending machine, and we get whatever we can get really quick. And we kind of shy away from the whole grains and the fresh fruit and the fresh salad. And that's one of the things we should really get a hold of, used to eating nowadays. Also in the dairy group, we want to make sure we drink our milk, and our milk is and when we drink milk, we get the calcium from the milk, and calcium is used to build strong bones and teeth and maintain body mass. Daily products are the prime source of calcium in the American diet. Diets that provide at least 3 cups of the equivalent of milk products of the dairy helps your bones stay strong. So it also, like I stated before, it helps build strong bones. And the vitamin D helps build strong bones too. And if you're not out in the sun quite often, then you're going to need then you might be vitamin D deficient, and this also helps as well with that. And then we'll cover protein groups when you go over this chapter. Protein groups. So both animal and plant sources are sources of protein, and some other protein sources are meat, poultry, fish, dry beans, peas, eggs, nuts, seeds, and soy products. Your animal protein should be lean and low fat, not with a lot of fat on it. Okay. Not all meat should be trimmed of fat and cooked with dry, high heat and moderate amounts of vegetables. And it'll state on page 45 when you read, it talks about beef round steak. It talks about lamb, pork, poultry, and fish on how you should cook it and the different types of cuts that you should be going over as well. And then you want to choose seafood at least twice a week. An intake of 8 or more ounces per week, less for young children. A variety of seafood is recommended. But dry beans and peas are the mature forms of legumes. So make sure you understand that. Such as kidney beans, pinto beans, limes, black beans, and peas and lentils. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Yes, black beans, and you want to make sure that when you add ingredients to your beans, make sure you're not adding more fat to your beans, like bacon and things of that nature that are going to take away from the good parts of protein of those beans. Okay, and you want to make sure at a 2,000 kcal level, you should be taking in about 5.5 ounces of protein per day. Okay. And then your oils. Let's go to your oils. Oils are not technically a food group, but are given at a daily allowance for oil. For example, a 2,000 calorie diet allows you for 6 tablespoons of oil each day. And I know, at least from what I've seen, a lot of people, when they cook, they just don't use 6 ounces of oil. They use at a tremendous amount. So make sure you measure out your oil when you do cook. But common oils are, the oils are extracted from plants such as canola, corn, olive, peanut, soy, and sunflower, not from pork, from your bacon like we like to do. So make sure you try to stay away from those. But coconut oil, palm kernel oil, palm oil, they are very high in saturated fat. So they should be considered as solid fats. So be careful with those as well. And you want to make sure you stay away from the added sugars because of saturated fat in those as well. And those added sugars are such as Cokes that are high in sugars, and that are also other things that we talk about, such as in cheeses and in pizzas, ice creams, sausages, fried chicken, fried potatoes, because those are all saturated fats that give out empty calories. So make sure that you go over the dietary guidelines, which we're going to be talking about saturated fats, trans fats, monofats. You have a lot of good examples of it, and there's 5 major examples that you need guidelines, that the dietary guidelines for American from 2015 to 2020 that they are going to go over. Make sure you go over that. And the label. The label is very, very important. It gives out some really good information. And make sure you go over the percentages of your daily value that you're going to need as well. And that's pretty much it that we're going to go over for today, for this week. Make sure you go over the syllabus so you can see what else needs to get done. Make sure you're turning all your assignments on time. If you have any questions, just like you all did last week, I think I've got in contact with you all as soon as possible. I think as soon as you all send me a message. I need to see you all with your book, so please send me a snapshot of with you and your book, and get ready for a quiz, because the quiz will be coming up. So please take care of that. I hope you have a wonderful Martin Luther King Day tomorrow. Get ready for the following week. And if you have any questions, make sure you get back with me, and I will get back with you as soon as humanly possible. But have a great day, and let's have another great week. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.